we shall never know peace. At least when it comes to the WNBA space. It was this ad that Angel put out. And I don't know if this is part of a larger campaign where it's going to be similar themes in similar places. But because of where the WNBA All-Star Game is, and because of who plays on the Indiana Fever in the home city of the WNBA All-Star Game, it's going to raise some eyebrows, let's say.
Angel Reese walked into the 2025 WNBA All-Star Weekend as if the entire stage had been built just for her, as if every light would shine her way and every camera would follow her moves. But what she didn't realize was that the spotlight had already faded, the audience had already lost interest, and the heartbeat of the event, Caitlyn Clark, was no longer part of the show. She believed this was her moment, her time to rise above the noise and finally become the face of the league.
Angel, me bound, pray up, Reese. You only relevant because you keep bringing up my precious CC. You want to pull up with your billboard Reebok ad in Indiana talking about you in her trap. Man, stop it. You out of there. You hear me? My precious CC don't be in no trap. Real talk. You hear me? At the end of the day, she don't do those type of things. Yes. You hear me? Don't put that on. Don't put that with her name at the end of the day. If you be in a trap, that's your business. You hear me? Whatever the case may be, that ain't nothing to be proud of.
But she didn't understand that standing next to greatness doesn't make you great, and trying to absorb someone else's magic doesn't mean you've earned any of your own. She thought proximity to a superstar would give her the same glow, the same buzz, the same fan love, but fans don't give their hearts to someone just because they stand close to someone else who earned it.
Here, everyone with credit card debt is lining up to get the Angel Reese signature shoe. Here, it gives you the power of the me-bound. Bang! Again! Burn! Will she save it? No! What everyone's paid to see, the Angel Reese rebound! Bang! Kelsey Plum makes the shot, she'll get more money. Bang! We show up and show out for our rebounding queen. Yes! Bang! I love rebounds. Yes!
Hey, Jimmy, did you see that last rebound? It was so sick.
Yeah, she did it again! Rebound!
Comment down below, Baby Goat over Baby Giraffe if you're riding with CC, because this story is about what happens when someone tries to skip the grind and still collect the glory. The 2025 WNBA All-Star Weekend was supposed to be Angel Reese's breakout party, the moment she stepped out of Caitlyn Clark's shadow and proved she could stand on her own, and everything was lined up perfectly. Her first Reebok signature shoe, a flashy media campaign called I'm in Your City, and all of it taking place in Caitlyn Clark's hometown, Indianapolis. On paper, it looked brilliant, marketing genius, fan bait, a real takeover.
Literally, debut. It's got to be when she plays Caitlyn Clark. So they obviously ended up debuting at All-Star Weekend because Caitlyn didn't play when they were in Chicago. When Caitlyn didn't play, or Caitlyn's not playing in this game, so they're debuting at All-Star Weekend. The plan was to literally go and use Caitlyn Clark for the launch of it.
In reality, it was a disaster, because you can't fake charisma and you can't build a brand by orbiting someone else's legacy. You have to earn every inch of it, and Reese hadn't done that yet. Let's talk about the shoe the Angel Reese won. Reebok poured in the budget, launched 2 colorways named Diamond Dust and My Bounds, blasted ads all over All-Star Weekend, and timed the drop perfectly, hoping that the massive attention Caitlyn Clark always brings would spill over onto Reese's release.
It's one of those things where it's like it's very clear that one side is absolutely trying to milk whatever rivalry there is. Whatever rivalry there is, it is one side trying to do everything they can to keep it together, because that is where they're going to be at their most relevant.
But the entire plan rested on one fatal assumption, that Caitlyn Clark would be on the court, drawing eyeballs, pulling fans, creating the kind of magic only she can bring. And when she got injured just days before the weekend, that entire marketing dream started crumbling. Caitlyn wasn't just another player on the roster, she's the engine of the league, the reason people tune in, the reason tickets sell, and when she sat out, everything around her started losing momentum, including Reese's big weekend.
But there is the part of me that's like, is this really necessary? And shouldn't Angel Reese be able to market herself at this point without invoking or even insinuating some sort of attachment to Caitlyn Clark. Because if I'm being honest about it, people say that moment, and that moment was huge. It will live forever. That moment will live forever. But Caitlyn Clark was on this trajectory already. And if anyone has benefited more from the attachment, at least from an attention standpoint.
Look at the numbers. When Clark played in the 2024 All-Star Game, it pulled in a record-breaking 3.44 million viewers, making it one of the most watched WNBA events in history. But in 2025, without her on the court, viewership dropped to 2.19 million, a staggering 36% loss, and that's with the event being held in her own city.
So the WNBA's All-Star Game went down 36%. That is a lot. That's more than a third from last year. Last year was over 3.4 million people, and it went down to 2.1. Now, you could say is a success? Yeah, for women's sport, that is still a lot of people. But at the same time, it really isn't a success, because think about it. It's the only sport playing. It's the only game that's going. And you only could draw that. So, and this is with all the stars. Remember, guys.
And what about Reese? She was still there, still launching her shoe, still pushing her campaign, but suddenly the spotlight felt colder, the energy faded, and the buzz, it just wasn't there. Her big "I'm in your city" campaign was everywhere. Billboards across Indianapolis, Instagram reels with captions like "Walk in your trap, take over your trap," all designed to make it seem like she was claiming new territory, as if she were taking over the throne while Clark was off the court. But it didn't land the way she hoped.
But the WNBA All-Star Game ratings have come out, and all I could think of right off the bat was 4 little letters. FAFO. F around and find out. You bleep around and find out what this league looks like without Caitlyn Clark being involved in your biggest events. Kathy Engelbert, this should be a perfect example of why you need to get your officiating cleaned up, and you need to have a talk with your players in the league.
Because fans knew the truth. This wasn't a power move, it was an empty performance, a celebration without a competition, a bold message in a city where the Queen wasn't even playing. Social media didn't let it slide either. People called it out, saying things like, "She can't sell her shoe without piggybacking off Caitlyn," and more photographers than fans at this launch.
Angel Reese All-Star Weekend edition! How about it? Let's get it! Hey, you know what they say? 4 is more. Bang! Her loyal fans showed out in Indy, all 4 of them, and somebody's drunk uncle. Take a look at what unemployment looks like. Bang! What do you mean you didn't watch the All-Star Game? You're telling me you have a social life? What?
What's butter pecan mean? It's provocative. It gets people going.
Butter pecan! Bang!
And the sad part is, they weren't wrong. The campaign felt hollow, like someone trying to claim victory in a race that never started, and instead of elevating her brand, it exposed just how much of it depended on Caitlyn Clark being there to draw the crowd. Even the WNBA tried to spin the numbers, pointing out that 2025's viewership was higher than 2023's 850,000, but everyone could see through it. Without Caitlyn Clark, the energy went right back to niche status, and no billboard could change that. Even the 3-point contest and skills challenge, which brought in 1.32 million viewers, only did so because fans still hoped for a glimpse of Clark, even in street clothes.
You can barely dribble. You miss layups on purpose, and they record them as rebounds. You be stat padding. You don't elevate your players. You went to a stacked LSU team. You hear me? My precious CC owns you. You want to know the record? She is 5-2 against you. You beat her in college one time. That championship. But what happened to the year after that? She sent you home. You hear me? And waved to your coach. You hear me? At the end of the day.
The real issue here isn't that Reese had a shoe that didn't sell. It's that she misunderstood how star power works. She looked at Caitlyn Clark and saw the Nike deal, the sold-out sneakers, the $600 resale prices, and thought,
WNBA All-Star Weekend is supposed to be the star of all stars. All the big dogs is out. Asia Wilson, Sabrina Ionescu, Brianna Stewart, everybody's out. The big dogs are out. You got the rookie, you got Angel Reese, Miss Me Too. All of the stars are here. And look at this news. The get-in price for the WNBA All-Star Game in Indianapolis has dropped 48% from $121 to just $64 after news broke that Caitlyn Clark won't be playing.
I can do that too, but what she didn't realize is that those results came from years of building trust, dominating games, staying humble, and earning fans with every moment on and off the court. Clark's shoes don't sell because of flashy slogans, they sell because people believe in her. Nike gave her a $28 million contract not because of hype, but because of history. Because they know her signature shoe, set to release in 2026, could bring in $100 to $150 million in revenue.
Fans sent a blatant message, a shot across thou bow. All right, and your ship, well, without Caitlyn Clark, the WNBA and all their pay us what you owe us action, that action will sink. That action will sink. Woo! WNBA All-Star Game sees ratings drop without Caitlyn Clark, and it's ugly. It's real ugly. Who is this?
So one of his genius decisions was this. Signing her, Angel Reese. If you don't know who she is, she's the queen of like fish out of water going after a rebound that she shot herself and can get in the net ever. She reminds me of a 3-year-old shooting on those little kids' nets and throwing the ball and just completely missing the mark and like scampering back to get the ball and then shooting again real fast and it just doesn't come anywhere near the hoop. That is, if you haven't seen her play, that's what it is. Put that image here, that is her.
And that's not a guess. That's backed by real data, sold out arenas, record-breaking viewership, and unmatched fan connection. Now compare that to Reese's launch. Reebok went all in, but the response was lukewarm at best. The Angel Reese 1 didn't sell out, didn't dominate headlines, didn't inspire long lines outside stores or crash websites. It just came and went.
There's no comparison between y'all two. You hear me? And she has a $28 million Nike deal. Nike is better than Reebok last time I checked. And Angel, me bound pray up Reese. Last time I checked, you said Indianapolis was racist and they was dangerous. Why did you show up? Because you could have just watched from the crib. You hear me? So let me tell you this. Please stop associating my precious Cece with the trap. She don't know what a trap is. At the end of the day, she might know what a rat trap or mouse trap is, okay? But anything else other than that, please do not. No, we not gonna do.
Man, look, I don't know what the Reese was thinking. She wanted her shoe that just came out a couple months ago. The cost $1,000. Now look, I'm all for athletes getting their shoe, getting the shoe deal, having their design, specified, perfect shoe that significant to them and to other fans. But $1,000 for a shoe, love, I love you. I really do. But you definitely been on some shit. Like lately. I'm not going to lie to you. You have. But $1,000, no.
She is so bad that when Caitlyn Clark and her were supposed to face off against each other the other week, the ticket sales went down from $100 to like $5 because Caitlyn Clark got injured. She had a quad injury, so she wasn't playing. So guess what? No one wanted to go watch. And if you don't know Caitlyn Clark, she's pretty much the GOAT of the WNBA and is the reason why people are watching. No one watches you, Angel Reese. No one watches you. The only thing that I enjoy watching is all the clips on TikTok of you just countlessly just missing every shot that you take.
And here's the most brutal part. Shaquille O'Neal, in the Netflix docuseries Power Moves, said on camera that Reebok needed Reese to be in full Reebok gear when she's on the court with Caitlyn Clark, which is basically an admission that her brand only lights up when Clark is in the frame. That's not independence, that's piggybacking. And on Sunday night, after a weekend that didn't go her way, Reese posted, "This was the most fun I've had in a while because of the players. Shout out to y'all," with the word players in all caps, which many fans took as a jab at the crowd, at the city, at the ones who didn't show the kind of love she expected. But Indianapolis was gracious. They showed up, they supported the event, but they didn't fall for the smoke and mirrors. Because fans know the difference between someone trying to be a star and someone who already is. And this weekend proved it. This wasn't just a failed launch, it was a reality check. Caitlyn Clark doesn't need a campaign to sell out an arena. She doesn't need a slogan to create buzz. The fans are already there because they believe in her. She's not famous because she's well marketed. She's well marketed because she's famous. It's the reverse effect, and it's rare. Angel Reese tried to shortcut the process. She wanted the results without the journey, the spotlight without the grind, the fame without the foundation. But that's not how this works. Star power isn't something you wear or post or pretend. It's something you build moment by moment, game by game. And this All-Star Weekend, it won't be remembered for Angel Reese's shoe. It'll be remembered for what happens when Caitlyn Clark isn't in the building and the entire league feels the drop. Because Caitlyn Clark isn't just a part of the WNBA, she's the engine. She's not one of many stars, she's the star. And when she's missing, the product suffers, period. Angel Reese just learned that the hard way. Because you can't take over a city that was never yours to begin with. And you definitely can't replace someone the fans truly love with someone they barely believe in. Comment below. Baby Goat over Baby Giraffe. If you're riding with CC. Like, subscribe, and tap the bell so you never miss another story. And click the video on your screen. We're just getting started.